Next at noon, the search for 13-year-old Madeline Soto continues after a suspect in the case refused first appearance this morning. Plus, police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened overnight. We're asking questions about a motive next on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Central Florida's chief meteorologist Tom Terry, only on Channel 9. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at noon. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at noon, the search for a missing 13-year-old girl continues, and the prime suspect is now in custody on other charges. Good afternoon, I'm Kirsten Delgado. 13-year-old Madeline Soto has been missing since Monday morning, and now her mother's boyfriend is in jail on charges of sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material. Channel 9's Q McRae is live for us at the Orange County Jail this afternoon. Q, the suspect, Stephen Stearns, was supposed to go before a judge this morning.
Right, and we had our cameras rolling at 9 a.m. because that's when it was supposed to be happening, but he refused to appear according to the jail officials here behind us. But this here is the latest information we have about his case. Now, when it comes to the sexual battery charges, the Kissimmee Police Department will deal with that part of the story. But when it comes to Madeline's disappearance, that will be the Orange County Sheriff's Office duty. And they just sent us a news release saying that they continue to search for the 13-year-old. We'll have more on that part of the story for you coming up at 12:30. Reporting live, Q McRae, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Right now, it's cloudy across Central Florida, and certified meteorologist Cassie Crumey is in severe weather. Center 9. Cassie, our rain chances only increase as we get closer to the weekend.
Yeah, we've had a whole lot of sunshine for the last couple of days, and today we're really going to start to change that up. Our temperatures upper 60s to mid 70s outside during our lunch hour, but something that really all of us are experiencing is what Kirsten was mentioning, the clouds, quite thick, and in some locations we've kind of got a little bit of some spritz and sprinkle activity, not huge rainfall, but you see there are some scattered showers just offshore. I think that will eventually make their way onshore for some of our beach communities today. So light rainfall is possible. Most of what we'll see will be in the sprinkle variety with temperatures today in the mid 70s. And you can see that hour by hour through the day in Orlando. Only about a 10 to 20% chance for those showers and then starting to cool off tonight. But today is really the start of the changes that are heading our way with the wet changes. Today and tomorrow, a front overhead, and really the front's going to stay nearby as we head into the weekend. Rain, storm remain in the forecast. I'll take you through all those changes coming up. Kirsten.
Cassie, thank you. This afternoon, we have new details on what started a shooting last night in the Rosemont neighborhood. Orlando police say 7 people were shot. One of them died. We first brought you this as breaking news last night on WFTV Tonight. Investigators have been on Iron Wedge Court for more than 12 hours now. Channel 9's Felicia Ashley joins us live from that neighborhood. And Felicia, this started over a disagreement about a car.
That's right, and more than 12 hours ago, as you mentioned, I want to bring you to the scene right behind me because this crime scene tape was actually just put up minutes ago. You can see that police and investigators right now are still looking and collecting more evidence. You can see that he has a metal detector, and they just put more evidence cones down there as well. That silver vehicle right there also, we notice, has some gunshots in there, and they just put evidence markers on that too. Police say that they do believe that the individuals involved in the confrontation were also involved in this shooting, but they tell me right now what they're working on is figuring out who is a victim and who is a suspect. As we mentioned, right now, one person is dead. We learned that it was a 21-year-old male, and 6 other people in the hospital right now from gunshot wounds, but they are expected to be okay. We are going to stay on top of this story all day long to learn more about what was going on in this home, and we'll bring you the latest details this afternoon. For now, reporting live in Rosemont, Felicia Ashley, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Felicia, thank you. This afternoon, deputies in Volusia County plan to reveal a major breakthrough in a nearly 20-year-old cold case. Yesterday, investigators found human remains at this Ormond Beach site. They believe the remains belong to a woman named Autumn Lane McClure. She was a 16-year-old student at Mainline High School. She disappeared in May of 2004, and the person of interest in her case died in 2022. We'll give you updates from those deputies on Eyewitness News at 4. Police in Daytona Beach say several people are in custody after a woman was pushed out of a truck and she died. On Tuesday, investigators say a woman called this man Julio Angel Rivera. He was wanted on a warrant for stealing a motorcycle. Now, when he showed up, he was in a truck with 4 other people inside. Police say she then got in and eventually she was pushed out of that truck. We spoke to a neighbor who saw it all happen.
I looked right at her and she said, "Jump, help, help." I said, "Jump, jump."
Police say the truck was dumped on Coquina Drive and 5th Street. They arrested the driver for fleeing and eluding. Rivera was arrested on homicide charges. A 3rd person was arrested on unrelated charges. Back at home, firefighters are still working to control at least 5 wildfires in Texas. In this video from the Fort Worth Fire Department, you can see the smoke and orange glow there in the air. So far, the Smokehouse Creek fire has burned nearly 1 million acres there. That wildfire is the 2nd largest in Texas history, and for comparison here, that fire is bigger than the state of Rhode Island. Right now, at least 1 person has died and thousands of people have been evacuated. This afternoon, a 5-year-old girl is safe and sound after being rescued from a swamp in Hillsborough County.
Genesis, come here, sweetie.
This is body cam video from a Monday evening. Deputies say that missing girl who has autism wandered away from her home earlier that day. The Sheriff's Office Aviation Unit used thermal imaging to find her. Thankfully, she was not hurt. Young patients at Advent Health are now reflecting on a magical experience. Yesterday, a few members of the Orlando Magic visited patients at the hospital, and they even taught them a few basketball moves, too. Players we spoke with say they look forward to these type of events all year long.
I think it's one of the things that most guys are very happy to do, and I guess for us, just the understanding of how lucky we are, and to give back to kids, families that are going through some tough stuff.
1, 2.
Those kids were also given some goodies from the Orlando Magic, too. Florida is considering 12 different locations for a historical museum, and Edenville wants in. Coming up, though, the main barrier that town is facing in actually making that happen.
The Osceola County Sheriff's policies are being blamed for a shooting outside a Target in 2022. More on a grand jury's report that did not mince words after the break.
And lots of cloud cover across central Florida, even a couple of sprinkles, but our rain chance will be going up over the next few days. I'll take you through the changes coming up.
Drone 9, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, getting you closer over the scene of breaking news.
Drone 9, sponsored by StrataAC.com. You ought to call Strata.
You might already know the day's headlines.
But on WFTV tonight, we give you the newest take on the day's biggest stories, showing you all sides.
So you know why it matters to you. WFTV tonight at 11 on Channel 9.
New at noon, a grand jury said deputies should not have killed a man when they moved in to arrest him at a Target in Osceola County. All this happened back in 2022, but now the jury did not recommend charges against the deputies who fired their weapons. Instead, they blame the shooting on the department's policies and a lack of training. Channel 9's Nick Papantonis is live outside of the sheriff's office this afternoon. Nick?
Yeah, the grand jury report also not mincing words against the sheriff himself. They said he refused to meet with them to talk about his policies and the culture he sets inside this agency. The grand jury also criticized deputies for not turning any body cameras on. Since the shooting, the agency has changed several policies, including limiting when deputies can block a vehicle in and preventing deputies from getting out of their cars until the suspect begins cooperating. The victim's attorney also spoke to us this morning. He went after the sheriff personally for that culture that was talked about in the report. We also heard from one of the victim's fathers. You're going to hear all of that coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Live in Osceola County, Nick Papantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Nick, thank you. And we've been reporting on the property battle between the Orange County School District and an organization working to preserve the town's history in Edenville. Now, the town wants to put a museum on this land, but they still don't own it. And now the task force for the Florida Museum of Black History wants to build their African American museum here. Florida is considering 12 different locations for that museum, and locals want it here.
The museum would kind of restore some of the faith in the community.
Now, the vacant land is owned by Orange County Public Schools, which already said they are willing to donate that land. However, it's now involved in a lawsuit. See, the family of the man who gave the property to OCPS says it was given under the condition that a school would be built there. Well, no good deed goes unpunished. That's what a Seminole County couple says happened when they tried to clean up a homeless camp. The garbage was piling up along 1792, and a couple and their friend who lived in the area took it upon themselves to clean up all that trash after they realized the city wasn't going to do it. Then Seminole County stuck them with a bill for dropping off excessive trash. For people living here, though, they say that cleanup is a godsend.
I think it's amazing. I've never seen Roger out here before. I don't believe he's homeless, but he does care about the community, the environment. He cares about the trails, the homeless people.
Roger had to pay $30 to $50 per bag for removal of that trash. Then Channel 9 reached out to Seminole County, and now officials there are working to refund that money. Well, these are the latest pictures of the moon from the first U.S. spacecraft on the lunar surface in more than 50 years. They're also the last images we'll see from that private lunar lander for quite some time. Whenever Crew 8 launches, we'll show it to you live here on Channel 9 and on WFTV.com. So we'll see if weather cooperates.
Rain will be an issue. Clouds, winds will be an issue. At least something, I shouldn't say an issue, something they'll be watching.
Something to contend
some of the
with.
Constraints that make put a little halt on that. But we take you outside. We've got a lot of clouds. We're starting to get the changes. We had a whole lot of sunshine the last couple of days. It was breezy. We're still breezy. Winds out of the north. You can see those flags moving up in Daytona Beach. A north wind at 10 miles per hour at the airport in Daytona with temperatures in the upper 60s. But it definitely has a gray vibe when we take you over into Daytona Beach. Winds 10 to 15 miles per hour for most, sustained, a little bit stronger as we head up into our northern portions of Flagler County. Temperatures are a little bit cooler as well with 60s and 70s. And we've got the cloudy skies across the board. Some scattered showers just offshore that when we take you through the models, looks as though we could get a couple of them kind of pushing onto our coastline. But what's going on is we have this front that moved in. It doesn't have a whole lot of moisture with it right now outside of some sprinkles and some light showers later today. But this is going to essentially stay nearby as we head into the weekend. We'll see it kind of pump northward again, but this is going to keep our rain chance around over the next couple of days. So as we go through the end of the weekend into the weekend, you can see that rain chance climbing up to about 50% for both days this weekend and staying elevated as we head into next week as well. But that rain chance, it arrives today, and you can see up near our coastline those showers that were just offshore, watching that potential of a few of them moving onshore. So the hour by hour in Daytona as we head into our evening hours, our rain chance does start to climb a bit more in comparison to what we're going to have here in the metro. Cloudy skies, really only about a 10 to 20% chance for some of those passing showers for us, but still watching that sprinkle possibility. Temperatures today will also be a little bit cooler. Yesterday we had some of the warmest that we've seen so far this year with 80s. Today highs in the 60s and low 70s. Sprinkles still possible tonight with the cloudy skies, and we're looking at lows in the low to mid 60s. So temperature wise, pretty mild as we take you through the overnight. But as we head towards the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, we do have the 80s returning, but that chance for rain is going to be a little bit elevated, especially compared to what we've got today and tomorrow, just with some scattered light showers possible. We're looking at some afternoon showers, even some rumbles of thunder possible, kind of feeling a little bit more like summertime, believe it or not. We head into next week, that rain chance, it sticks around, a good 40 to 50% chance for rain essentially each day as we head into this upcoming week, and we'll have temperatures staying in the upper 70s and low 80s all during that time frame. Just be prepared for some wet changes after a nice little dry spell for the last few days. Kirsten.
Cassie, thank you. This afternoon, we're learning more about a crash at the Orlando Sanford International Airport. Coming up, what led to a crash that hurt three people rather. Plus, Camping World Stadium is getting covered in dirt. Up next, what you can expect to see this weekend at Monster Jam. Right now, crews are dumping truckloads of dirt to Camping World Stadium. It's for Monster Jam this weekend. You can see here crews making all that dirt. More than 300 truckloads will be dumped throughout the night. And then obstacles as high as 10 feet will be built for the 12 competing monster trucks. Officials say this will be an action-packed show.
No show's ever the same. Basically, it's different every time. The drivers always want to win. They always want to do good.
Some of the trucks competing this year include the Gravedigger and the Zombie. Monster Jam is this Saturday. It starts at 2:30. This afternoon, we're hearing air traffic control audio before and after a plane crashed at Orlando Sanford International Airport.
Might be having some control issues here. Our ailerons and the elevator seems to be very stiff. We're checking the trim, but it's still super stiff.
The airport is closed. It's going to be a while. There's a serious crash.
Now, officials say a student pilot landed short and crashed into another parked aircraft. This happened Tuesday night. Neither the pilot nor two crew members were seriously hurt, though. Defense Secretary Austin Lloyd is facing scrutiny by Congress for not disclosing his recent hospitalizations. Coming up, potential fallout lawmakers say Lloyd's decision could have had.
And we have an update in the ongoing search for 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Investigators say they have their man behind bars. The full story is coming up right after the break.
This Tower Cam Shot, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Watch Eyewitness News from any device with Eyewitness News Livestream, sponsored by Bogan Munz & Munz. Choose results. Choose Bogan Munz & Munz.
This afternoon, we have an update on the disappearance of Madeline Soto. Channel 9's Q McCrae is live for us at the Orange County Jail. Q?
Yeah, well, what we know this morning is that the search for her continues. We received an update from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and they say that they plan to resume the search for her sometime today. But at the moment, the prime suspect in her disappearance is behind bars. His name is Stefan Stearns. And last night he was arrested in Kissimmee. This morning he was supposed to have his first appearance here at 9 a.m., but that didn't happen. According to the jail officials, they told me he refused to make his appearance. So this is an ongoing investigation. The search for this 13-year-old continues. Once we get another update from law enforcement, we'll let you know. Reporting live, Q McCrae, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
That's pretty pleasant across Central Florida right now, and certified meteorologist Cassie Crimmy is tracking the latest from Severe Weather Center 9. Cassie, the rain, though, the chances for it go up as we get closer to the weekend.
That's right. You know, today and tomorrow, we still have the possibility of some light showers. We've had a little bit of some sprinkle activity already across parts of Central Florida, but definitely a lot cloudier, and you can see some of those isolated showers just offshore that we'll be watching our coastline for them moving on as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. The clouds definitely taking a hit at some of our temperatures, as is the cold front that's moved in and kind of draped over Central Florida. A lot of 60s and 70s. So we go hour by hour through the remainder of the afternoon. We've got the mid 70s through about 2 o'clock, and then we'll start to cool things down by dinner time. We're in the 60s, still very cloudy, but then also notice just that 10 to 20% chance for showers here near the metro as we get towards the beaches. Slightly more elevated for today and tomorrow, but by the weekend we start to see that rain chance expand for all. Could even get some rumbles of thunder. I'll be taking you through those changes coming up in my full forecast. Kirsten.
Cassie, thank you. Right now, a man accused of taking a shot at a construction crew is in the Brevard County Jail. Investigators say 69-year-old Richard Macco made several reckless passes in an airboat where crews were making underwater repairs on the State Road 46 bridge. Then investigators say Macco fired a gun. He was arrested yesterday in Brevard County. He's now facing 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Deputies in Marion County will hold a memorial service for a K-9 officer who died in the line of duty. K-9 Leo died after he was shot during a domestic incident earlier this month. Investigators say a man at that scene started shooting and deputies returned fire, killing that man. The memorial service will be Monday at 10 a.m. at the Sheriff's Office in Ocala. Today, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is in the hot seat on Capitol Hill, facing questions from lawmakers about why he did not notify the White House, Congress, or the public about his recent hospitalizations. ABC's M. Nguyen has more from Washington. The astronauts who will blast off to the moon in next year's Artemis II mission have begun training for that day, coming up what the crew just experienced for the first time.
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, don't do this. Don't do this.
Shut up.
Oh, man.
There's so much winning. Even when they lose, it's fun.
Dagnabbit.
Brought to you by AMCO.
Astronauts in next year's mission to the moon are training alongside Navy officials off the coast of California. The USS San Diego is working alongside the Artemis II crew for their recovery mission. The ship will have the next year to practice getting the astronauts on board after returning from space. The ship's captain says they'll have 2 hours after the astronauts splash down in the Pacific. But he says some of the biggest challenges will be the day itself.
So some of the biggest challenges I believe we're going to face are just going to be the unknowns, whether that's the weather or the time of day. Obviously, driving at night into this type of a mission presents a few more challenges.
The ship's biggest goal is to refine any last-minute procedures. Artemis II is expected to launch next year. Experts say our water is littered with plastic particles. Up next, what lawmakers on Capitol Hill say about that growing concern.
And we are tracking a whole lot of cloud cover outside. Some sprinkles, but a rain chance going up as we head towards the end of the week and the weekend. I'll have the details coming up.
You may be surprised to learn how much plastic is in the water you drink every day. All right, we're well into the lunch hour here. It's looking really gorgeous across Central Florida. I mean, cloudy, but like so pleasant that I'm very happy.
I love that you're happy. And it is today's kind of our rollover day. We had so much sunshine earlier this week. We're really seeing the clouds thicken up for us today. We've had a couple of little spritzes and some sprinkles outside across parts of Central Florida, but the temperature is still pretty mild. We're in the mid-70s. Still a little bit breezy, though, with winds out of the north-northeast at around 13 miles per hour. And you can see many of us have that breeze still, 10 to 15 miles per hour sustained, even a little bit stronger as we make our way up into parts of Flagler County. The sustained wind in Palm Coast is sitting at 22 miles per hour. Now, our temperatures in some spots aren't quite as lucky in the 70s. We do have some 60s up for our northern locations. DeLand, Daytona Beach, currently at 69, 67 degrees in Palm Coast. Thicker clouds up there looking kind of gray and some showers just offshore. And all of this extra cloud cover, the showers nearby, the sprinkles that we've had is all because we have this front that's essentially draped right across Central Florida moving in today. And it kind of lingers through today and tomorrow. It doesn't hold a whole lot of moisture, but it's actually going to stay nearby, not quite overhead, but nearby over the next couple of days through the weekend and into next week. And this is going to keep our rain chance around, and it's going to keep us elevated. So we take you through the rest of the weekend into the weekend. You in our rain chance really peaking through the weekend and early next week. A good 40 to 50% chance for scattered showers and even a few isolated storms. Today and tomorrow, though, our rain chance down at about 20%. You can see hour by hour up in parts of Volusia and Flagler County. Some of those showers that are just offshore could kind of creep their way onshore as we head into our evening and overnight hours. But a lot of us in the metro and to the west are going to stay on the drier side. But you can see at our coastline tonight, rain chance increasing for you. Cloudy skies, temperatures in the 60s for the remainder of the afternoon and into the evening, whereas again in the metro we're going to be close to seasonal levels and then starting to drop those numbers tonight. Still lots of clouds. Isolated showers will be possible with temperatures today in the mid and upper 70s for many. So overnight cloudy skies. We're going to see some sprinkles. Most of us in the 60s. We'll have a few upper 50s like up in Marion County. 59 degrees tonight in Ocala. But then as we head towards the weekend, as we're making plans, note that we do have a wetter, a stormier pattern that's going to be taking shape with temperatures in the 80s. And that's something that we will continue to hold each afternoon as we head into early next week. Kirsten.
If you do your grocery shopping at Walmart, you may be owed some money ahead of the settlement over produce and how you can qualify.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WFTV is brought to you by your local Southeast Toyota dealers.
Here's a look at some of the stories we're working on for Eyewitness News at 4. The search continues for 13-year-old Madeline Soto. She's been missing since Monday. Last night, her mother's boyfriend was arrested on a sexual battery charge. Deputies say he's the prime suspect in Madeline's disappearance. We're bringing the latest on the search for Madeline ahead on Eyewitness News at 4. Plus, we're learning more about a shooting that killed one person and hurt 6 others last night. At 4, why police say a car may have led to that shooting. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street this afternoon. Here's a look at the numbers so far. We'll have closing figures for you later today on Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 4.
Stocks are brought to you by the personal injury firm of Todd Minor Law.
Closed captioning ensures all viewers have access to our programming here on Channel 9 and provides a critical link by delivering important local coverage with stories that impact our community. Closed captioning on WFTV is sponsored by Farah and Farah.
If you shop at Walmart, you may be eligible for part of a $45 million settlement. A class action lawsuit claims that Walmart overcharged customers who purchased groceries sold by weight. Shoppers who purchased some sold by weight products between October 19th of 2018 to January 19th of this year are eligible. You have until June 5th to submit a claim. Meantime, if carbs are more your thing, you have a ball today because today is National Toast Day. Toast originated in ancient Egypt to make stale bread taste better and last longer. Look at that. In the UK, people top it with beans. While Southeast Asians might add some coconut jam. I'm more of a butter gal myself. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? This is... it's been a while, but when I was pregnant, that's all I wanted was
toast.
Buttered toast.
That sounds amazing. Honestly, I feel like there are a few things better than just a good piece of bread and butter.
Good piece of bread and butter. Gotta love it. We've got some changes, some wet conditions headed our direction. Mostly cloudy skies today and tomorrow. We have a front moving in as we speak. It's essentially right across central Florida now. Still breezy. It's going to bring our temperatures down a little bit today. Isolated showers, really at best for the metro. A little bit better up in parts of Volusia and Flagler County today. And as we head into the weekend, we're going to up that rain chance quite a bit. A good 40 to 50% chance for some showers, even some storms.
All right. Thank you for watching us here on Eyewitness News at noon. GMA 3. What you need to know is coming up next. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Go get some toast.
Yeah, with butter.
This Time and Temperature is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando.